It's on! So I'm a little frustrated because I got the super secret project on over here, and it should be showing Disney Parks Talk Live, and it's not. So now I got to deal with that. But anyway, hello everyone, and welcome to Disney Parks Talk Live, the weekly show in which we talk about the week in Disney theme park news. My name is Juby Mosley, co-founder of Laughing Place. The lady to my right, your left, is Rebecca Mosley, my wife.
Hi. Hey, you know what I realized watching the opening today? That we need to put Chapek in there. It still has Iger, but you can introduce the rest of the team.
Oh, we do need to. You're right. Maybe someone on our team has a better relationship with them, can call them up and ask them to send us a picture. The person below me, the vice president in charge of everything fun here at Laughing Place, which would be like Star Wars and stuff, that would be Mike Celestino. And a few words. And
Jeremiah, when you had lunch with Bob Chapek, did you ever have to ask him to pass you anything?
No, he joined us after we'd eaten, which is good because I didn't want to have lettuce in my teeth while I'm talking.
Fair enough.
And the person who just spoke, the vice president in charge of meeting really important people here at Laughing Place, is Jeremiah Good.
Hola.
And as always, we're live right now. I really hate the way StreamYard gives me this signal thing, and it's low, and I'm just panicked that can't be seen.
You freeze every now and then, but it's nothing
you're fine.
bad.
Your audio is fine.
Surely the restaurant you ate at wasn't branded and full of IP. So we're here to promote the Week in Theme Park News.
No, it wasn't at all.
Yeah, you should have asked him that. We are going to... we have a list of topics to discuss, but if you'd like to become a part of the conversation, just use the chat right there. We're not going to let you come on the air. We're not crazy. But use the chat, and you can be heard. We can discuss whatever you want to answer your questions. That's what we're here for. Let's get started. So, we do this thing. We plan this thing out. Spend about 5-6 hours planning this out the night beforehand, and then a bunch of news comes out the morning of. And so we're going to start with that breaking news. First off, the Coop over at Disney Springs has had some... Jeremiah, why don't you talk about this?
The Coop. The Coop is on fire. Yeah, exactly. I knew as soon as I started, we would have to finish it. So just literally about an hour ago, I was down at Disney Springs walking around, and the co-op is actually one of my favorite areas, mostly because of the Wonderground Gallery that exists in the back portion of it. And as I'm walking through and I turn and I go, wait, that doesn't look like the Wonderground Gallery. That looks like more Marvel stuff. Yes, the Wonderground Gallery has moved out of the co-op to make space for Marvel merchandise. Not that this Marvel merchandise is very rare and very hard to find. I swear none of it was 2 stores over at the World of Disney or on the west side at the Marvel store. But I walked into the cast members. I said, "What happened to all the art?" And they're like, "We don't know either." So this change just happened today. They did replace the Wonderground Gallery, as I said, with Marvel merchandise, and then they moved all of what was the Wonderground Gallery over to a shop that has changed shops more times than I can count. I'm not even going to call it by that name because I'm guessing we'll start to see a Wonderground Gallery sign in a day or so. This is the shop that's right next door to the Art of Disney. It's connected. So they could just call it the Art of Disney or Wonderground Gallery, Art of Disney. But I'm happy they got a bigger space. Hopefully it will turn into much like the one at Disneyland with more signings and everything down there. But it was a bit of a shock, especially the cast members who came in and went, what happened?
Kiki and Luca are heading to Disney World in December for the first time. That's so exciting. That's a wonderful time of year to go. Because beginning mid-November, that's when you get the Christmas decor, and they have a lot of little specialty desserts and things available all around the parks. I think Christmas time is among my favorites. Do you guys enjoy, is there a seasonal time that's your optimal visit time? Mike Celestino, I'm going to ask you.
Oh, you can't go wrong with Christmas time. You can't go wrong with Halloween in my book. Either of those are favorites of mine.
What's a can't miss? If you're at Disney World in December, team, what's a can't miss Disney World in December? Can you think of anything?
Doobie, the doves aren't there.
I
Neither are the
love.
lights.
No, I know. I love the Castle Dream Lights. The Castle Dream Lights are. Did they take those away too? Oh my goodness!
You know what? We are getting at Walt Disney World for the Christmas season this year is the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, and it's getting a holiday overlay.
That's right.
I'm so proud of you,
right.
Mike.
I forgot.
I couldn't remember what it was called.
Oh,
I think that's about what it's called.
Okay.
But nearby the Magic Kingdom, Kiki and Luca, is the Grand Floridian Hotel. And they build an enormous gingerbread house in the lobby of the hotel. And it makes the whole thing smell like gingerbread. And you can buy little gingerbread shingles there. And it's one of my favorite things about Walt Disney World at Christmas time. Ooh, here's a question. Epcot or Magic Kingdom for New Year's Eve?
Do Epcot on New Year's Eve, do Magic Kingdom on the 30th. Because they usually do the fireworks the night before at Magic Kingdom, so you can enjoy those. I have done Epcot a few times for New Year's Eve, including 2014 to 2015 when I turned my clothes inside out because that's what we were all going to be wearing in 2015. Nobody did. But the countdown and everything is pretty amazing. I haven't seen it since with the Harmonious changeover to see what they might or what they did last year, but we'll see how amazing it is this year.
And Epcot has those incredible. Well, now I'm going to say something else they probably don't have anymore. I was going to say the holiday tag on Illuminations, but there's no Illumination, so there's probably no holiday tag.
Wow,
No, the holiday tag did not make it.
You guys are just offering all the things from the past. Jeffrey's coming in with the lights at MGM Studios and the back lot. Like those don't. The back lot's not there. It's not even called MGM Studios.
One of the smaller things I do like though is over in Camp Mini Mickey where they have the trees by all the characters.
Can we just move on?
Be useful.
No, those are in Disney Springs now. Those are in Disney Springs now. But real quick, forget the whole Christmas thing. If I can just get one really concise, easy to implement, yet will help you immensely tip for a first timer going to Disney World. Does anything come to mind?
Genie Plus.
That's concise. Thank you.
Thank you.
We can spend the next hour talking about this now.
I wish I had been helpful in any way.
Okay, so my tip always when it comes to Disney World is don't get so obsessed with your checklist of what you need to do that you don't take a breath. Because sometimes it's in those smaller moments, the opportunity that an exchange with a cast member, what you might see another family enjoying that I don't know, it's a lot of magic. And if you're so like focused A, B, C, D, you can kind of, get lost in that. And you're more concerned about what am I missing than what am I doing? And that's just one of my tips. Yes,
that is the absolute perfect tip, Rebecca. Seriously, that is the perfect tip. And forget the but the checklist is not the thing. The experience you have is the thing.
I was going to point out that I don't think Gideon has been alive to see the Country Bear Christmas show.
This is our son, and he's suggesting something that hasn't been since before he was born.
If I can recommend one thing, I know everybody's dying. Like every single website says, plan your meals and everything. Don't plan your meals. Don't make one special dinner, maybe a special lunch, a special breakfast, but don't focus on the meals. Like you're going to Walt Disney World to enjoy Walt Disney World, not go from meal to meal to meal, which I've seen happen more times. And I've talked to people like, no, we didn't get to see this, but we ate here, and here in one day. And by the last meal, they weren't eating anything. They were just paying to sit there, and then they took their food home. So
depending on your priorities, to me, that's the perfect vacation. So, take Jeremiah's advice. Seriously, it depends on what's important to you. Yeah. I would be very happy going on a Disney World vacation, eating at all the cool places and spending my time hanging out.
I have another recommendation for a first timer. This is something I learned from my wife's family before I was a theme park reporter, and that's to go and visit all the resort hotels and check out all their holiday
Especially during
decorations.
holidays, yeah.
Yes. The Grand Floridian has a nice display with the gingerbread house and everything. It's very nice.
Everybody's been doing the gingerbread house. Like almost all the resorts are going back to having gingerbread displays. Hopefully this year they'll all return. My favorite is the Yacht and Beach with the carousel that they set up, and it's just so much fun.
It is, yeah. That's a great tip. And literally every single hotel is decked out for Christmas. They're not all to the level of the Yacht and Beach and the Grand, but they all have a tree perfectly themed to their theme, and they have other decor. I can remember All Star Sports has like wreaths with various sports balls and stuff. So every single hotel, Disney Springs, Boardwalk has decor to go check out. Even the Winter Summerland golf course, they really go all out.
No, stop. It's always Christmassy time there. Let's see. In park news, before we get back to the chat a little bit, Disney Kite Tales will be coming to an end September 30th over at Animal Kingdom. Let's see. It was part of the additions with the 50th anniversary. I think a lot of us expected it maybe would go longer than the anniversary, but it looks like it's going to be right there during the anniversary.
Was that announced at the last expo? I can't remember. No, I mean, the 2019 expo. Was that when Kite Tales was announced?
No, Kite Tales came about at no, it wasn't Destination D. We knew about it before Destination D, but it debuted at that point.
Okay.
Tony Betty points out that Kite Tales just never caught wind with the guests.
Speaking of wind, a funnel cloud was spotted over Epcot, and that captured quite a bit of news. There was debate for a little bit of time as to whether or not it was actually a funnel cloud. Initially, they did not believe there to have been any rotation, but upon further review, the Weather Service, I guess, did decide that they would label it a funnel cloud, although it didn't touch down. Okay, so here's my take on this, you guys. All of these images are of this funnel cloud at Epcot. And it just makes you realize how big Disney World is, because you're not seeing images of the funnel cloud at Magic Kingdom or the funnel cloud. I mean, it really just reminds you of just, okay, Epcot's over here, Magic Kingdom's over there, Studios is over. It was just, like I say, for me, it was a reminder of just the expansive nature, because I just got back from Disneyland where, they're like right there on top of each other. So it's wild.
I haven't looked at all the photos, but was it actually over Epcot, or was it like in the distance behind Epcot, just everybody's taking pictures facing out that way?
It seemed to be adjacent. I would agree with you that it did. If you were above it, I don't think if I was in an airplane above the funnel cloud, the funnel, there's me and then the spaceship Earth. It seemed to be adjacent.
Can you show that picture real quick again?
Yeah, sure.
So look at this picture, if you guys can.
It's silver. It's silver.
Okay, well, that is where I was going. That so clearly looks white to me in this picture. It's not even questionable.
What do you say? Where do you fall, Mike? See, white, silver, brown?
I think I've said chrome in the past.
In this picture, it is clearly white. So this reminded me of something. If I can take a right turn just for a quick second.
Gio cracked me up. Sorry, go ahead.
So these people were spending their day at Disney World, hanging out at Epcot, and wow, there's a tornado. There's a funnel cloud at Epcot. What are some of the cool things you guys have seen, completely un-Disney related? You're just at a Disney park and you happen to see either happen or maybe plan to see something really cool. For example, I've seen a shuttle launch from Epcot, launching over Mission Space, beyond Mission Space. We aimed it so that Mission Space was between us and the shuttle.
Did they announce beyond Mission Space? I know they've.
And that was one of the coolest things I've seen, is watching a shuttle launch over Mission Space from Epcot. So I'm just curious, anything else come to mind as something really cool you've seen while at the Disney parks?
There was a day during the pandemic when the parks were shut down here, when I was at Downtown Disney and there was a fire nearby, and it was raining ash at Downtown Disney, and that was a very surreal day to be there. It felt like post-apocalyptic.
Wow,
I remember you being out there in that. That's right.
That's creepy. Anything come to your mind?
Space launch for me. Jeremiah, were you there when the Thunderbirds flew over the park that time?
I've been to Magic Kingdom, and I've been close to Magic Kingdom and close to Epcot when they fly over, because their times are always like, it'll be approximately this time. And almost both times I've been on the monorail or just outside. I'm like, oh, there it goes. Oh, okay. No, but those are really amazing when they do those special flyovers. You know, I've seen rocket launches. We were at a Harmonious dessert party, and we looked over and SpaceX was launching. Like, we were right in the center waiting for Harmonious, and off to our left we could just watch SpaceX launch. And that was one of those cool things of you just saw everybody in the entire park turn to their left and look and then go, oh, fireworks. Yeah, not the same, not as cool.
I remember seeing SpaceX launch from NASA while I was on a cruise ship, except technically I wasn't on a cruise ship. I was watching a live stream of someone else on a cruise ship.
Oh yeah, that was me.
That was you, yeah.
That was me.
And that was pretty cool. All right, well, cool. I'm glad you guys had some answers. Mike, yours was a little depressing, but that's okay.
That's true to my character, though, I think.
Mike saw the dark side. Well.
Speaking of dark side, if you've missed enjoying bacon while you greet Piglet and friends over at Crystal Palace, it's on its way back.
That is my favorite character encounter of all time, is eating. I wasn't eating the bacon, but someone was eating bacon, and Piglet comes over and just gives him a look.
So good. But yeah, character breakfasts are returning to the Crystal Palace October 25th. So once again, you can have some fun with your fluffy friends while you enjoy meals on Main Street.
I do think it's very interesting that they've chosen to give us a date for the return of character dining at Crystal Palace. And other things they choose not to give us a date.
They kind of have control over that. They can schedule pretty precisely when the characters will be there.
They can't control Fantasmic?
They're still in rehearsal, so can we wait until they've gotten more than 2 weeks of rehearsal under their belts?
Move along, Rebecca. I want to meet Santa Claus.
Is coming to Maria and Enzo's at Disney Springs. So if that's something you're interested in, be sure and stop by the site for more information, as well as, yes, Mr. Doobie.
I just think it's very interesting to have breakfast, a character meal with Santa Claus. But my question is for Mike Celestino. If you had the opportunity come this Christmas season to sit on Santa Claus's lap and ask for one thing, what would you ask for?
A DeLorean.
Woohoo!
Wow, I'd ask for peace on Earth, but you go, Mike.
That's like 8th on my list.
Clip that. That's going on super secret every hour on the hour.
And as Kyle points out, you don't know how long you have to rehearse if you don't have an opening date.
I know. Do rehearsals usually start without an opening date? Let's just go see how long it takes us to figure it out.
Yes, they actually do. Most of the time rehearsals start, and unless you're on Broadway and you have a set contract. I can speak firsthand from the promise of Fantasmic opening on October 1st, 1998, and being there on October 1st, 1998, where a week before they said, oh, well, we're going to open sometime in October.
Oops.
Same thing with David Copperfield's Magical Underground.
Still waiting for that one.
Oh, speaking of October, annual pass holders can get a limited time perk. Hey, you said October.
No,
Typhoon Lagoon. So be sure to check that out. I know I will, because I love Typhoon Lagoon.
But I was looking 5 minutes early. What, you want to get there like 7:30 in the morning?
I was looking at these perks. These are perks that as annual pass holders that we used to be for Typhoon Lagoon. These are our perks. Get in a half hour early, which means you get that very first parking space. You get a free towel rental, because we rented a towel all the time. No, we didn't. We rented a locker all the time, but we'll rent a towel now.
Used to be free.
And then you get a free. No, you don't get free. You get exclusive drinks.
Yeah.
Gideon could get the kiddie drink. I would get the coffee drink, and Rebecca would be the happiest of them all.
They're all alcoholic.
All three are?
Yeah.
I thought only one was.
No.
It says lemonade.
They're the optional.
Oh, tequila.
The watermelon lemonade, you can add tequila. The cold brew, you can add Kahlua. And then the Bloody Mary, obviously, that's not really something where you're going to add, because that's like, alcohol.
Add more blood. It is October.
But yeah, I'm like Doobie says, looking at these perks, this would have fit perfectly with when we were annual pass holders visiting Typhoon Lagoon. every other week. Typically, we would go for a couple of hours in the morning and then leave around the time the crowds really started to grow. We'd be there about 2.5 hours, 3 hours. Grab donuts, a bag of donuts. Remember those tasty donuts?
Bag of donuts.
They're still there.
Some
Mini
good
donuts.
Some good times, man. That's a great way, man, to get in shape. Is go hang out in that wave pool for a little while, and then kind of relax in the lazy river, and then head back into that wave pool. That is some cardio. I'm telling you.
That's all we did was wave pool and lazy river. Never did the slide. Well, Rebecca would do Crush and Gusher once that came along.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think. Have you even ridden a different slide at Typhoon Lagoon other than Crush and Gusher?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I've done one of the rafts, but that's about it. I would like to though. Maybe I think maybe next trip I'll do Summit Plummet.
Okay.
Yeah, put that on the list. Have you ever done Summit Plummet, Jeremiah?
Oh, many times. I love the big slides.
Mike, have you ever gone on a slide?
I've been on many water slides. I have not been to either of the current open water parks at Walt Disney World.
But River Country, you kicked its butt, didn't you?
No, I don't think I ever went there either. Sadly, whenever we visited, we were all about the theme parks.
What's your favorite water park?
Well, I grew up near Splish Splash on Long Island, New York. So that's the one that I remember fondly growing up. But there's a couple here that are pretty good. The Knott's one is okay, and then there's Raging Waters and San Dimas.
Yeah,
It's not the filming location for Bill and Ted, which I was very disappointed by.
Yeah, I grew up with that commercial. I've never actually been to the park, but I swear that commercial was on.
Or the 10 and 210 meet in San Dimas. Yes,
it's great.
Jeremiah, what would you rank? How would you rank the water parks in Central Florida? Which would be your top of list?
So I really can't say much. I've been to Aquatica, which is very nice, but it is more of a much more of a slide park.
For sure.
I like Blizzard Beach more than Typhoon Lagoon, but I still have to hold out until I actually make to Volcano Bay, because I've heard from many different people that Volcano Bay is the best water park. And
that's what I keep hearing as well. It is on my Central Florida to-do list. I've enjoyed Aquatica very, very much, but Typhoon Lagoon I think is my favorite, followed by Aquatica, and then Disney's other
Blizzard Beach.
Thank you, Blizzard Beach, because I haven't been to Volcano Bay yet. We also touched on Legoland, but it was their first year open, and they were very much just a wave pool. It was it's expanded since then. So
there's also H2O Live down 192, which is a fun park, but it's much like Aquatica in those, where it's a small. You have a couple of slides, and Aquatica I love because they have the bottlenose dolphins that you slide through, and if you can catch it that 1 second, you can see them.
I like Aquatica. Water park. There are two kinds of water parks. The ones that are just a concrete sidewalk with slides all over the place, which I hate. I despise. I can't stand going to those places. Thankfully, Florida is full of the other kind of water park, which is an actual theme park with a water theme. And Aquatica, I disagree that it's just a slide park, because they have one of the coolest, most novel lazy rivers with its Conga Scare You Rapids.
No, it's called Roa Rapids,
which are really kind of get you going. And,
Kiki and Luca, wait, I got to jump in here. Okay,
yes,
one of the things I've discovered, I lived in Central Florida for many years, and I have moved away to Northern California. And one of the things I discovered that I didn't realize is that Disney, especially, and perhaps I suspect the others as well, in Florida, their water temps are moderate. So even if it's a chillier day, the water temp will be very nice. Yes. Whereas like here in Northern California, they do not heat the water. And so even when it was the hottest of days, I didn't want to go to the water park here because the water would be too cold. The water temps are either heated, or the reality of Central Florida, where you don't have drastic changes between day and night temps. The water temps were much more tolerable. Even one of my favorite things about life in Central Florida was calling my friends Christmas Day from a Disney water park and being like, I hope you guys are having fun in the snow. I am currently enjoying the Typhoon Lagoon.
Yeah.
And unlike summer, where it could rain and thunder at any time, winter is the dry season in Florida, so you can
Less likely.
you don't have to work around the rain nearly as much, Jeremiah.
But it could also be, still 80s. Like
For sure.
I've been out here for 9 years, and I've not experienced a cold day in December since I think I moved out here.
I'm
Seriously.
always there for that 2-3 day cold snap. So if you find out that I'm going in December, Kiki, that's your sign that you need to not go then, because I'm going to be there during the 2 coldest days of the year. It seems to be my pattern when I go visit family. By the way, Tony says this is a positive comment, but I'm not exactly sure what it means. Volcano Bay is designed for cameras and peace. The water slides were an afterthought.
See, I haven't been there, but all my friends talk about the amazing slides. And every time I drive by there, their slides look cool. I know that it is a beautiful, like that spot that's kind of the iconic photo for that of the wave pool with the volcano in the background. But again, I have not gone there. That is something that I plan to do at some point, and we're just driving Rebecca away.
I'm not clear, Jeremiah. Have you ever been there?
I have not been there.
Okay. All right. So Kiki,
have you been there?
Kiki, you have earned your right to ask us any more questions, anything you want to discuss about
for
Disney.
$20 a pop.
Wow.
No.
One of the amazing places to eat at the Disney parks is Space 220. This is a themed dining location.
Don't go off this topic until I come back.
I won't.
Okay.
Where it's as if you have taken a journey up into space and you're eating in a space station. They have beautiful windows overlooking that environment, and with certain drinks or with the kids' items, they give out these collectible trading cards. I'm a little bitter talking about this story because we ordered one of those and we didn't get ours. And I didn't write them to say, hey, I ordered one of these and I didn't get mine. And now it looks as though they have a new set of trading cards that they are presenting to you when you go to Space 220.
Can't believe it's been a year for Space 220 already.
I know.
Time flies when you get old. Jeremiah, what you got to show us?
Okay, scroll back up to the top for me, Rebecca.
Okay.
I know. It's mostly because I need to know which pack is the new one and which pack is the old one.
I think the Saturn series is the new one. But, I'm not 100%. Because I didn't get the old one, like I say. Oh, wait, let me put Jeremiah on full screen. Doo-doo.
So I believe this is the new one and this is the old one. Is that what we're going off of?
I believe the blue one to be the new one, but not 100%.
Do they come with gum?
Mike always has the important question.
A rectangle of gum. Yep.
That's like grapes.
No, it is this one. This one is the 2022.
Okay.
These are the brand new packs, and I was actually saving one of these to do this live on screen.
Jeremiah opens a thing.
Yes, Space 220 was kind enough to send these over to us so we could get a look at them. Tomorrow is the actual 1-year anniversary, if my date is correct.
Maybe I shouldn't have been so bitter they didn't remember to give them to me when I ordered them.
No. So this is the brand new pack of cards. No hot can melt diamonds.
Ooh, that's part of the Mars series. Outer Spice, part of the Jupiter series. Hostile Atmosphere, also another Jupiter series item.
You were good at this. Oh, you're reading the top.
Rings of Rock and Ice, Saturn series.
Yes.
And finally, Time to Refuel from the Saturn series.
Yes. And these cards, when I first went to Space 220 over a year ago, these cards were, these are for kids. These are part of the kids' meal. And I know that everybody that was there asked for the card because we're all nerds like that.
Yeah, I had a kid who ordered a kid meal, didn't get one.
Yeah.
I'm cranky about it.
They just got in. As I was talking to them, they're retiring the original series and going forward with the new series, which makes sense. But they also were running very short on the old series before they retired them.
Okay.
But yes,
Rebecca bitter party of one.
No,
Tony has a
completely
question.
understandable.
We have a question from someone in the chat, and as you know, chats get priority. So Tony would like to know, what set are these from?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Those are the original series. Those are the white cards that represent parts of. Where is
Cool.
that from?
You can see them. You can see them in the image that we have of the previous of some of the previous collection. So yeah, it was neat. There are quite a variety of them.
Yeah, I had all of them collected in one spot, and now I need to figure out where that spot went to.
Let's see, Doobie. We can move on with the next item in the news here.
Our next item up for bid is on the Disney Cruise Line, and
Oops, sorry.
I just heard the story of this from our cruise line passenger who was on the ship last week and saw someone without a mask, and it's like, oh, guess they really got sick of it, and then saw other people and learned that just the previous night they got the email, masks are no longer required. You can still wear them if you wish, but no longer required of cast members on the Disney Cruise Line. So check out that happy smiling face. We haven't seen one of those from a cast member in quite a while.
And I also noticed across Twitter that many people noticed that DisneyWorld.com no longer had the COVID data on it as well. So there's
Really?
a lot of, like, you can find it on the website itself, but you know how you used to have that big drop down with all
Yeah.
It did as of yesterday.
I don't know how long ago that disappeared. So, but I just noticed a few people popped up in my Twitter feed mentioning it.
It ain't
today.
there.
So,
I went yesterday looking for reservations, and
Oh,
I
okay.
noticed that. So it was still there as of yesterday.
Okay.
So
well,
Well,
when
at
I
least on the
was
front
today, it was
page. Maybe it shows up somewhere, but at least on the front page right now, you go to DisneyWorld.com and incognito window. No little thing at the top that you
no.
just click
Oh,
away,
thank goodness.
as you have for the past.
But you can still find that information on there's like areas where it says,
Health and safety.
health and safety, or what you need to know before you go, or things like that. So if you are wanting to know what their policies are, what their operations are, you can find that data there, but it's not in the same kind of like general warning on every page.
I also see something about a MagicBand on here. Is there any MagicBand news, Rebecca?
Why, yes, Jeremiah, some new MagicBand. Did you purchase one of these already?
I did not see it when I was at Disney Springs. Downtown
Oh,
Disney. Wow.
nice.
Because I have not been looking at the classic MagicBands. I'm only looking at MagicBand Plus now, but those are nice. Now, if they could just get my Tron Lifecycle Run phone case.
Is this
D-Tech?
Is this the first piece of Tron Lifecycle Run merchandise?
Yes.
Uh-oh. We have a disagreement.
Sure? Okay. Oh, you know what? Technically, I would suspect that Tron Light Cycle merchandise, yes, but they did have that 50th merchandise that had a Tron Light Cycle among the attraction vehicles and other icons of the park. Okay. So
this is the first specific.
Yeah. Technically, Tony, can we get a ruling on that?
Well, I think that's right. I'm not 100% because I'm not a Tron fan, so I haven't been measuring it. Whereas that guy down there really is. So I figure if he says there hasn't been any yet, there hasn't, because it would be in his house. Technically,
when Tron Light Cycle Power/Run opened in Shanghai, we had already had some of the Tron Light Cycle Power/Run merchandise because they just recycled the Tron Legacy merchandise for Shanghai's new attraction, including the ears that they had on display, and they still have on display in the China Pavilion at Epcot for the Shanghai Disneyland Resort. So, yes, we've had it, but no, not really. But yes, we have.
Well, that reminds me, there was a little video that I keep meaning. Oh, is that making noise? Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, I stopped it. Hang on. There's this little video I made during the expo that I want to share with you guys because it just made me happy, and so I'm gonna do it now. So hang on, let me pull it up. Ta-da! Look, can you guys see it?
It's not on. You haven't shared it.
Oh, all the little magic bands. Hang on, where's the share screen?
I got it. Oh, sorry, I got it.
There you go. Check it out.
That is
cool.
They had this display of the MagicBand Plus at the Imagineering Pavilion, what they called the Dreams, Wonderful World of Dreams. And I just got, you guys know me and glow stuff. So I just sat there and videotaped them blinking at me. So yeah, and it made me very happy. Okay, sorry. There you go.
And
Working
other things
in space.
Other things that may make Rebecca sorry. Rosa Mexicano is opening up at the Walt Disney World Dolphin Hotel early next year. That's a chain of Mexican restaurants that I wouldn't say a huge chain, but they have locations around the country. So that's one of those kind of chains where they're really, really good. So I'm looking forward to that. We like eating at the Swan.
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
Very
he
much.
froze.
Catastrophic cookie. Is that what that thing was called in the
I'm back.
in the Space Mountain? The catastrophic cookie?
Wait, what is happening in that card? Can you show it again?
Yeah. Hang on, let me make Jeremiah
It's
big.
somebody eating a cookie that's breaking apart in gravity.
Okay.
But
That's
my
better than
favorite
what
one
I thought it
is
looked like.
the same package. We've all had that.
I'm sorry, I couldn't pull up the headline with the restaurant information.
And in case our new friend is still there, by the way, when you're visiting the hotels, don't forget the Swan and Dolphin. The Dolphin Hotel actually has some of the most beautiful Christmas decorations over there. And they're easy to get to because you can just use the friendship boats on Crescent Lake there, and they have off ramps for the Swan and Dolphin.
Crescent Lake.
Yeah, and some nice food. The Italian restaurant there is good. Remember when the trick to that Italian restaurant was you would go buy that one guidebook? I don't remember which one it was, but it had a $50 coupon in there. So basically, you'd go to that Italian restaurant and eat free. And yet, despite the fact you could buy a $9 book and get a $50 coupon, you still had to check because a lot of people just go and rip the coupon out at the bookshop and leave the book. Pay your $10.
Okay, but on the flip side, that book also had the All-Star Sports Cafe listed as opening in spring, whatever it was, and it didn't open because we
wait. You mean because
very hungry at 2 a.m. and drove out to a very dark and secluded ESPN before it was open.
Yes, apparently they were still in rehearsals. So.
Yes.
And they made the mistake of giving you a date, didn't they?
Okay,
didn't they?
Good point.
All right, let's give some shout outs to Rosa Mexicano. Rosa Mexicano coming to the Dolphin Resort.
Oh, I'm excited.
A wonderful place to shop and eat. A wild place to shop and eat.
Speaking of the one that Tony was asking about, I just got this in one of my packs from the original series. So
my best memory of eating at that Italian restaurant, Rebecca, at the Dolphin Hotel.
The limoncello?
That's a great memory, but that's not what comes to mind. It was being there with you very late in your pregnancy and having a discussion with you about how once Gideon is born, are we really going to be able to still go out and eat like we always do? Yeah, did not change it one bit. We brought that little boy with us everywhere we went.
Yep.
Still went out all the time.
And we were very lucky. He was a very, very good eater. I mean, in that he could very easily entertain himself and not be a distraction and everything.
Well, when you're at Disney, that's the nice thing about being at Disney. Kids are expected.
Yep. But no, he would go with us everywhere.
Let's move on to Epcot.
Some more music is coming to Epcot Pinar Toprak, I'm going to say. I'm sorry, I have not heard her name spoken out loud, so I'm going phonetically. Is reimagining some music for the park, and there we go. Oh, Luke wrote this.
Yeah.
Wow. Next time we'll have to have him come on and talk about it.
Yeah, I think he starts early tomorrow.
Yeah. So you can learn more about that music coming to Epcot in Luke's article here on Laughing Place.
A new anthem for the park, and you'll be able to hear it weaved into the loops throughout the park. That's exciting. Epcot, perhaps, maybe this is a controversial comment, but does Epcot have the most iconic background music of all the American theme parks?
Yes.
Mike?
You are correct.
Sure.
Thank you for that.
Reassurance there.
Anytime now, I expect my son to pop up and say Hollywood Studios because he's in love with the Echo Lake loop.
Oh man, that loop plays so much in this house. That's for sure.
But Epcot is, I mean, it's
But
not
it's
necessarily
not
the best,
unique.
but it's just iconic. It's like, oh yeah, we're at Epcot now.
Well, and was it, and isn't it a lot of original, like, you know, specifically created for that park? So it's not like tunes that you've heard elsewhere that you then, you know, kind of apply to that park.
Now it's kind of the music that's at the entrance area is kind of the theme that they're going with. That's going to weave also. But yeah, you know, veggie, fruit, and the original tunes are still alive in places.
Yep.
It's the Bob Moline jukebox.
Speaking of history, yes, Mr. GB, go ahead.
I was just going to mention that Uncharted Adventure. Did I say that already?
No.
Okay, Uncharted Adventures. We just learned this. It's not on LP yet, but our good friends over at the Disney Cruise Line blog reported it. The Uncharted Adventures, the interactive game that is a part of the Disney Wish that was not ready for its launch. Apparently, the sailing that is now underway finally has it. Uncharted Adventures has launched, and I look forward. They actually have a pretty extensive article on there, but I'm sure once the cruise is over, it'll be even more extensive.
Speaking of Disney Cruise Line news, Becky, Mouse Fan Travel, Emmy.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Who is on the Disney Dream right now? They have switched over to the new internet package,
which is you pay per day instead of per megabyte or anything else. You pay for the whole day, which is wonderful and terrible all at the same time. Because it's great to be disconnected, but frankly, I shouldn't be disconnected. So
I thought you were going to point out that it's also Halloween beginning to take shape on board the cruise ships too. Becky shared this amazing image from the Dream of Halloween making its way on board. So
beautiful. That chandelier is the best chandelier on any cruise ship. And the tree just really messes up the visual there.
By the way, all those trees have their own story. If you haven't checked it out, be sure to visit the Disney Cruise Line's YouTube for the tale of the Halloween trees on board each ship.
Mike, how are you decorating your Halloween tree this year?
Tori does all the decorating. She's better about that kind of stuff.
Does she really? What do you do? Because so many questions I ask you, you said Tori does all the. What do you do?
Well, I took a lot of naps over the weekend.
Yeah, actually, is Royal Caribbean the first one to announce they're getting the SpaceX Starlink?
Yep, I think it's Royal Caribbean. That's where I heard it. Yep, I think.
Yeah,
I peeled shrimp. I peeled shrimp yesterday.
Did you really?
Did you break out from it?
No.
Did you cook it on the bobby afterwards?
No, Tori made a jambalaya, but I was in charge of peeling the shrimp.
Tori made.
Yeah, I contributed.
Is there like someone behind you right now just going like this and making you
behind or under?
Oh, here we go. Over at YouTube, you can learn more about the history of Imagineering. They have been around for 70 years, and they have they're highlighting and reminiscing about the history of that arm of the Disney company that brings us all of our theme park favorites and various other magic within the theme parks and other places like the cruise line and whatnot. So you can learn more about Imagineering over on their YouTube.
A very specific question for the two gentlemen at the bottom of the screen. Name an innovation, a specific innovation, and let's assume it came from Imagineering because we don't know any better. A specific innovation from Imagineering that you just marvel at to this day.
I'm gonna say the OmniMover ride system, because you increase capacity, you get people through that queue faster, and it's just a cool way to board and exit a ride.
Great answer. Great answer.
Jeremiah? How do you animatronics? I mean, Imagineering created robots that work, so it's still a great moment. Mr. Lincoln is still amazing, but then you go on attractions like
oh, nice, Mike. Here, let's give
signed by the man himself.
Hold that up for a second.
Yeah.
That's a Bob Gurr signature up there.
OmniMover Schematic designed by Bob Gurr.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
See you, Gio.
See you, Gio.
Do you have any that come to mind, Rebecca, other than the two obvious ones that Ben gave us?
No.
Yeah, me either. It's bugging me.
If not Fast Pass.
What about that cool candle that looks like it's a real flame?
You know what marvels me? I have no idea what the innovation is. But the special effects that every time I see it, I'm like, that is so cool. Is Madame Leota as it currently is, the way she's able to float around while talking, is an incredible special effect. We just saw it on Haunted Mansion Holiday, and that still blows me away every time.
Well, I mean, can I guess how that's done?
If you want to ruin my childhood.
Okay, no. Well,
No, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
Childhood. She started floating like 20 years ago, Doobie.
Tony's enamored of fake fireflies.
You can buy those. Go ahead, Mike.
This is just a guess based on my outsider observation, but I think it's just on a series of wires. That's what's making it float around. And then there's just a projector on the face, right?
The projector is inside the
face. It's inside. Oh, coming from inside. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool.
And I remember when I was a kid and you would see Madame Leota and you could see the point of light. That was the origin of the projector. Yeah. And it was very tiny, but you could see it. And it's like, I can't see it anymore, which makes it just so much more magical. I see you guys care a lot.
When you pass by the clock in the Haunted Mansion, the shadow hand that goes around like that, do you always turn around to see that little thing go by the light?
I always just get disgusted at everybody who spits on the face of the clock.
Ew, what?
Ew.
Oh, yeah. Ew. Next time you go on, you'll just see.
Thank you for that.
Oh, yeah. No, it's brilliant for everybody else because it's
beautiful. She must be talking about you and the magic that you're sharing.
Look at the boys just trying to ruin all the magic.
No, yeah. I've never even noticed. Now I probably won't be able to unnotice. By the way, you got to see this in person, right, Mike? Am I right?
No,
I saw it, but Jeremiah is the one who shot this video.
Yeah.
Jeremiah and Mike have both seen this. Is it impressive? Because the internet's blowing up over it, and I'm not a fan, so I'm curious to know.
Oh, it was amazing. Like his prosthetics and everything. And I sat there for almost a half hour waiting for him to come out. So I was lucky enough to hear him do Remember Me, and it was haunting.
So they didn't shoo you through there? Because when I was shooting video of him, I got like 20 seconds of it, and they made me leave.
No, they now have it so it's a walkway for the treat trail, and then there's a area for him, Oogie Boogie, Maleficent, everybody, where it's like behind or in front of a rope and you're closer to the character.
Oh.
So I got to stand there and wait for it. And then if you listen to the video, as it hits about the 2-minute mark, then you'll start hearing cast members go, okay, keep moving. You got your photos. Get out. Go.
But you didn't listen.
No, I did. But I got the end of the full song.
Good.
That's a fantastic video. I hadn't seen that, Jeremiah. So congratulations to you, Jeremiah, Vice President of Incredible Videos. Where in the park is he? Tony Betty's asking.
He's to the left of the entrance to Avengers Campus. There's a name for that spot, and I can't remember what it is.
The old
pass
area.
Look at this. I can have it here. So let's see.
All right, Mike, clock's ticking. Let's see how fast you can get this.
When it's not Oogie Boogie Bash time, what have been some other things we have found in that spot, Mr. Jeremiah, while Mike reads?
Nothing. It is now just an empty spot. They have used it for Fast Pass.
Okay.
It's like the last area that's kind of left over from Bugs Land and Bountiful Valley Farm.
It is cool. It's still playing in the corner there, and it's just, but yeah. No,
it is haunting.
Listen to the music. Like because I was there for a half hour waiting for him, and they just had this weird, like, ghostly music.
I'll put it on for a little bit.
That is amazing.
And there's also a video that just went up of most of the villains, including Zombie Captain America from the D23 night. That's about 18 minutes. And then we have that full performance. We have a good minute and a half of Madman Mim, 2 minutes of Agatha, and some of Maleficent. So I'd never been to Oogie Boogie Bash, and I will make a point to go to that next year. It was so amazing. I didn't even get to go to the Villains Grove.
Oh, really? Oh, I hear that's quite the crowd pleaser.
It was 2-hour wait to get into that, which I felt a little ridiculous. It was 2 hours for that and 2 hours for the Sanderson sisters, and neither one of which I had the time to do because the event runs 3 hours, which is a little quick, but I appreciated what I got to see.
If you haven't visited some of our other videos here on the Laughing Place YouTube, we are constantly adding new content. In recent hours, we've put up quite a few of what we call our Serene LP, and those are serene views from various spots within the Disney parks or Disney resorts. And so we've put up a few of those. We also have clips from various Disney company programs, including those from ABC and other entities. Also, some Universal horror and SeaWorld horror, some of their Halloween fun that you'll find at the other parks, because our team here is very much Halloween fans and are going to all that. So we figure we might as well make them work.
10 videos up today.
Can you bring up that video page again and then click on the one in the upper left-hand corner?
No, that would be
Come
weird.
on, I want to see. It's
no,
like
I'm not doing that. I am not doing that.
We can fast forward and see how this show ends.
No, I'm not doing that. Weirdo.
Okay, I found the name of that spot. It is
called
the Bountiful Valley Hideaway.
Thank you, Mike.
So there we go. So yeah.
Cool. I feel like we talked. Oh, Mike, you went to SeaWorld.
Yeah. I went to SeaWorld San Diego, Hallow Scream. It's the second year ever for this event. It's they added 2 haunted houses. I'm trying not to call them mazes. Last year they only had 3 and now they had 5, so that's good. And there's more scare zones and entertainment and a new show. There's videos up on our YouTube channel. You can watch of the show, the big stage show, and I did the opening scare-amony as well. I was not allowed to shoot video in the mazes. In the haunted houses.
Trying and failing. So how does this rank? Is it intended to be scary like the Universals, or is it toned down a bit? It's somewhere between Uni and Disney?
Somewhere between, yes. I would say it is definitely intended to be scary. I am so desensitized to the haunted mazes that it would take a lot to really get me. But there's a strange phenomenon with the mazes at this SeaWorld.
Thank you, Doobie. Thank you very much.
The haunted houses all feel like kind of prefabricated in a way, like somebody like went to a Halloween haunted house construction company and they came and built these like very generic feeling mazes that they're fine, but they just feel like they don't feel specific to the park, which I think
like dolphins trying to eat you.
No, that would be awesome though. I wish they would do stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I would expect.
I'm friends with the show directors down there. If you want me to just call them and bring them onto the show, so you could ask that.
Yeah, I would like to know. I'm actually curious if it is like a case where they farmed it out to somebody, or if this is all original to their own design or whatever. But I'm looking forward to Knott's on Thursday.
I told you Jeremiah was the VP of knowing important people. Speaking of mazes and such, Mike Mack, one of our best contributors here at Laughing Place, recently put up a ranking of all the houses at Universal Studios Florida. I think it was Florida. Yeah, it was Florida. It was Hollywood?
I think it was Hollywood. I think we've already done Florida.
Yeah, he went to Hollywood the night before.
Okay, so he probably did both then.
Yeah.
I think I was actually reading the Florida one, though. And it was just fun. Oh, yeah, it was. So it was fun to read. I'm looking forward. I'm hoping getting to see the Florida one next month. And I'm like Mike, even though I've only been to one in my lifetime, I must be desensitized because I had no scares whatsoever. But the special effects and the sets are really cool. And I love seeing the rankings. So now I know which ones to look forward to and perhaps which one to skip. Bugs.
Wait, Rebecca, can you put up in that post, there's a tweet of a video of a lady who's like dressed as like a demonic doll. Is that acceptable for our stream?
Give me a moment.
I just want to know. I want to know your opinion on how she moves, because she has this way of moving that I found very eerie. It was the thing that jumped out at me and stuck in my memory most from that.
If you don't like scary dolls, you may want to tune away. We're about to show video of a scary doll, and it looks like a scary doll.
Yeah. Do you think? I just want to know if you think she's doing that on her own, or if she's got some kind of mechanism.
Oh yeah, she's got
She's
a
on a hoverboard.
hoverboard.
Yeah.
Oh.
They
Okay.
do that with the fairies, the 3 good fairies during the parade.
So
That is not scary at all.
I no longer trust Mike's description of Madame Leota after his confusion over how this works.
Well, I thought maybe she was just really good at walking without bouncing up and down.
I was in marching band and I can walk pretty much without bouncing up and down, but I can't move that quickly or that no movement.
If she could move that way without a hoverboard, they would not have the dress so long to cover the hoverboard.
Okay.
So you could be impressed with their walking.
So there you go. So the hoverboard is the great secret of,
But that is really,
the demonic doll.
But I've never seen a hoverboard in a parade. That's really cool. I like that a lot.
Well, that's pretty cool. Fun stuff.
They have it.
Jeremiah, you've been to Not So Scary. So I was watching your Not So Scary video, and they still have the guys, and they still have their shovels, and they still spark them, but they don't turn in the circle. Is that accurate?
No, they do turn in the circle.
Okay.
It was just where I was in my. If at some point I may put up a second video because I have a different angle, we can see a little bit better of that.
Okay, good. Because I like the circle, and I was really disappointed that the circle was no longer there because that's everyone's favorite part of the parade. I just saw that some new Figment merchandise is coming.
Yeah, I didn't see that either.
And so I now know what I'm buying Rebecca for our anniversary. Rebecca is going out to our 25th anniversary dressed just like this. Or maybe she's not.
Is that it?
That's all that's in our article.
Ears.
We'll talk about that on Barely Necessities tomorrow, I'm sure. It's at 4:00 right here on this very YouTube channel. And as we continue to publish our expo coverage, I wanted to make sure you all were aware that our article regarding the Main Street Electrical Parade, 50 years of nighttime magic and imagination, that panel report is now available on Laughing Place. So we're still continuing to provide you with content from the expo because there were so many panels. So it's, our team is continuing to type away. I know I'm still working on some of the content that I gathered at the expo, and we'll be sharing it as well.
Just finished yesterday uploading all the bits and pieces from the Parks and Resorts panel. So we had the videos of all the announcements, the singing, the very theatrical presentation that Josh Damaro did. Definitely go and see that. It's broken up into different pieces, so you can get to choose your favorite part. My personal one is that one right there.
Okay.
I pointed at it. You just have to guess which one it was. Go through all of them.
I love the one where he announced all the cool new stuff coming to the parks over the next couple of years. That was my favorite.
So
he kept saying how they were definitely coming, right? Like he's like,
yeah,
this is all for sure, 100%.
Especially that Figment thing. When they started talking about Figment, I just got so excited. Finally.
Oh, I want to ask you guys. We didn't get to talk about this last week. I want to talk about this week. We're approaching an hour.
I also have a comment about that when you get done with yours, Rebecca.
Figment could be realized, as I think about it, in 3 ways, right? We could do how I met him in the late 80s, early 90s, where he's like a puppet. So he's like, about this big. They also did a walk around where he's like, enormous, like Mickey Mouse. Or they could do virtual, like we do with Turtle Talk with Crush. So when you're thinking Figment meet and greet, what would you want? How would you want to encounter him? How would you want him to be brought back?
I think it's going to be a real, some type of real Figment. What I would like to see them do is close down the theater and turn that into a multi-room meet and greet with Figment. So instead of just having the one, they can have multiple areas.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremiah's wrong. This should be like the old Stitch thing in Interventions or a Crush thing where you're meeting. I'd prefer it not be virtual. I'd prefer maybe like the Muppet mobile apps or something where you can hear them, you can interact with them, but it's not virtual. It's an actual figure, but it's able to interact with you and talk to you and such. If I'm going to meet Figment, that's how I want to meet Figment. Jeremiah's way was very basic. My way requires some imagination.
How about you, Celestino? Do you care how you meet Figment?
Yeah, well, yeah, I would say that it's always going to be either a puppet or the animatronic, like Doobie said. For me, I don't want them to put him in a big walk around suit.
Yeah, it was weird.
Scary.
It was
So
weird.
something I did a podcast with Lou recapping everything, and one of the things that he brought up, and I think is a very good point, that Disneyland got the announcements of stuff that is coming, that is happening, is changing. As it turns out, come next November, we have our own little expo here that is down the street from our parks, not down the street from Disneyland. So it never hurts to save announcements for the true Florida fans, not the Disneyland fans.
That would be Lou Mangello that Jeremiah is talking to, yet another important person that he knows. And I believe that would be Jeremiah's mentor in terms of spinning everything to the positives.
No, I don't think that's a positive. I think that's more of there are clearly more Disneyland fans at the D23 Expo, and
that wasn't my experience, to be honest. When I would
Disney
meet
World fans at the Destination D in Walt Disney World.
This is 100% honest. When I would meet people at the booth, when I met Minnie and asked them what their favorite part of Disney was, so I could give them the trivia question, Disney World outnumbered Disneyland. Just saying.
That's wow. That's interesting. I would not have thought that. So.
I would not have either. But Disney, you may have that market research for free.
You may have that anecdotal evidence of market research for free.
Hey, I talked to at least 7 people, so I mean,
guys, we need to wrap this up. Dance with the Stars is live.
I know. I just saw that
right
breaking
now.
news.
Live on Disney Plus. Those are
Live
words
on
I'd love to hear.
Ever.
Oh, meanwhile,
Who are the stars?
Under a tornado warning. Be careful. Follow the rules and suggestions of your local authorities.
And this is exciting. Dancing with the Stars on Disney Plus this year and live, not dropping at midnight or something.
It'll be the first time that across the world fans can vote at the same time.
That's an excellent point, Jeremiah.
Jeannie, there's an ongoing debate amongst the crew here as to whether or not there really was a lack of announcements in comparative to other expos. There are some who feel like, it's pretty much in keeping with the way the expo is. We get a lot of kind of, there's going to be some stuff, but we don't get as many like concrete announcements. I don't know. I fall into the more of the, I'm surprised that considering the projects that are under development that we didn't get a little bit more substantive information. I don't know that I would tie the lack of announcements to anything involving Reedy Creek per se. I haven't heard that kind of speculation. So I'm not inclined to connect it with that. Or you guys have any inclination that plays into it at all? The Reedy Creek discussions.
I don't think so. I think the fact that it is, again, and I will stand by this, that announcing the Walt Disney World stuff at Destination D has a bigger impact on that group, where announcing the Disneyland stuff, when they announced the 100 Years of Wonder stuff at the end, the crowd went crazy. When they announced Happily Ever After, the crowd went crazy. So yes, there is definitely the tie between everybody, but you announce the Disney World project to the people who are at Disney World. You announce the Disneyland people to the project that is at Disneyland.
Yeah, I don't agree. It's the D23 Expo. It's for the whole company. This is where the big announcements go. But
where the big boys play?
We can differ. Let's see.
I see how it is. Thanks.
Was there anything else?
Tomorrow I'll be at Disneyland for the opening of the new. It's not called Tiana's gift shop. It's called something else, but it is a Princess
Eudora.
Eudora, yeah. So look out for that.
And Friday, Doobie and I will be walking and talking at Animal Kingdom.
We will?
Yes.
Did not even know that.
I didn't until about 3 hours ago.
I can't wait. All right. Anything before we close out today? Well, thanks everyone for joining us. As Jeremiah said, we'll be at Animal Kingdom on Friday. Mike will be at Disneyland tomorrow, tweeting away, I'm sure, and showing off the new. That's what counts. Showing off the new Tiana themed shop there. We'll have Disney Trivia Live tomorrow evening, 4:30 p.m. tomorrow. Rebecca will be doing Barely Necessities. We will have, I feel like we have something scheduled for Wednesday, but do you have Star Wars headlines this week, Mike?
Who's the Boss live on YouTube Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific.
Marvel Time on Wednesday.
Your guest is Rebecca? Okay. So she's co-hosting and guesting. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's how we launch all the live action Disney Plus shows. It's just me and Rebecca.
Oh, that's right. That is the big news. Andor comes on Wednesday. I'm so excited.
Andor.
3 episodes of Andor. So cannot wait for that. Andor, right? Isn't that what it's called? Andor, the Boolean show?
It is called Andor, yes.
Andor, the Boolean show. Want to guess how long I watched Saturday's DTL stream for? It said in the thumbnail, canceled. Anyway, thanks everyone for joining us, and let me do this right this time. We will be back with this show next Monday. I click this.